What is up, everybody? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you down in my game room. And I'm joined by Dallas Stewart. We are coming in to do the NFL 2020 season Week 9 game picks. I'm joined by Dallas Stewart on the speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
And all I gotta say is, man, we had our worst week of the season in picks, going 7-7. But regardless of how bad we did, I'm glad it happened the way it did because some of those games we got wrong favored the Seahawks. It favored us in a huge, huge way. Wouldn't you say, Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're thankful we got some of those games wrong. All right.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, starting off Thursday night football in 2 days. We got the Green Bay Packers coming up of a loss where Dalvin Cook just destroyed their defense in the running game. And, of course, a 50-yard dump-off touchdown pass from Kirk Cousins in that game that basically, set it up for them to basically get the game. And also, the Vikings defense came up with forcing that fumble on Aaron Rodgers. And now Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be going to this one pissed, taking on the San Francisco 49ers, who we just basically ripped their souls out on Sunday. We ripped their souls out on Sunday. Wouldn't you say, Dallas? Just ripped their hearts out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that was just a great game. The best game our defense has played all season, and that was without Jamal Adams, no Carlos Dunlap, no Chris Carson, no Carlos Hyde, no Benson Mayoa, no Shaquille Griffin. I mean, DJ Reed stepped up big, had a big interception, man, and like I said, we pretty much slammed the door shut on the Niners playoff hopes with the gauntlet they got to go through. Jimmy Garoppolo out for 6 weeks and possibly more if he gets a surgery, going on IR for the year. George Kittle, done, 8 weeks, broken bone in his foot. I hope for speedy recoveries for those guys, though, but man, that pretty much, I think for the Super Bowl hangover, the Kittle and Garoppolo injuries were the icing on the cake for the Super Bowl hangover for the 49ers.
Yeah, injuries just doomed the 49ers this year.
Yeah, injuries just doomed them. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm just saying it because that's just the way it's been. But I hate to say it, though, I do hope the 49ers can beat the Packers, and push the Packers back a little bit. But I don't see it happening. Give me Green Bay to go into Levi Stadium and get revenge from the regular season and the NFC championships from last year. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, give me the Packers to bounce back after that upset at home against the Vikings. The 49ers are just so injury-plagued right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, going up against a pissed-off Aaron Rodgers coming off of a loss is never a good thing, man.
Yeah.
They are going to be pissed after blowing that game and letting Dalvin Cook just destroy them the way that they did, man. And I think this could be a good bounce back. And Nick Mullins is now the starting quarterback for the 49ers, but I hope the 49ers can beat the Packers and push it back a little bit more, but I just don't see it because, let's be real, I think now we can basically say this, the Niners are pretty much fucked because of all the injuries.
Yeah.
They're fucked. Would you agree, Dallas?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Just like in 2018 when they lost Garoppolo for that torn ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Houston Texans going to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Houston Texans, I think, are coming off. Are they coming off their bye week?
I think they're both coming off their bye weeks.
Both the Texans and the Jags. The Texans after getting pistol whipped by Aaron Rodgers, and the Jaguars after basically getting beat by the Detroit Lions, destroyed by the Detroit Lions, right?
Oh, no, I think the Jaguars put the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, that's right, they did. That's right, they did. My bad. They did. Justin Herbert and Gardner Minshew had to shoot out with Herbert winning in the end. Oh, man. I'm taking the Texans had Will Fuller on the trade blocks, and they almost had a trade in place with the Packers. The Packers could have gotten Will Fuller, but they didn't pull the trigger on it and didn't do it, man. Jaguars are obviously the worst team in the AFC South, and I'm going to take the Texans.
I'm doing my game picks with Sam.
Yeah, sorry, Dallas was talking to his mom right there. I'm taking the Texans to complete the sweep of the Jags.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans. The Jaguars are just abysmal.
Yeah. Up next, we got the New York Giants taking on the Washington football team. The Giants just barely lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 2 points. They got the touchdown, and then they picked up the flag on the pass interference. You tell me, were the Giants screwed, or was it a fair call? Or was it?
I don't know. I don't know how you pick that up if you make the call.
Yeah, I don't know how you pick.
I think Antoine until Junior got there early.
You think so?
Yeah.
Should the Giants have gotten another try on the 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments. You tell me if the Giants were screwed or not. And the Washington football team, basically, are they coming off of a bye week?
Is who coming off a bye week?
Washington. Oh, no, wait. Washington kicked the crap out of the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Washington kicked the crap out of the Cowboys. Man, this is the two dumpster fire teams, although the Washington football team has the better record than the Giants right now. I mean, we all know what happened last time. Riverboat Ron trying to go for 2 and failing and losing to the Giants by 1 and all that stuff too. And then Daniel Jones keeps making mistakes, throwing interceptions, almost led his team back, but couldn't get the 2-point conversion. Questioning if they should have gotten another try on that. Oh my gosh. I mean, man, I think Washington and Giants are gonna split, so I'm gonna take Washington this week.
I'm gonna take the Giants to get the sweep.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, S and D going in. We have a split.
Oh wait, we split the last time the Giants played Washington. Except I picked Washington and you picked the Giants, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
I think the Giants get their second win here.
I'm picking Washington off of what they did to Dallas before their bye week, man. I mean, after what they did, I think the Washington got a little momentum off of that, and I think. Let's be real. The NFC East, they suck. It's
a dumpster fire.
It's another tank bowl, just like your name tree would do with the freaking round ball test song. Reverse splits in the first.
When we played the first time.
Yeah. The only difference is now we
picking the opposite, except for picking the opposite teams.
This is a first for the channel, and I'll gladly do the split this week with that. I'll gladly do the split on that. Ooh, man, so far I'm 2-0 on splits this year. Dallas?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting if they split the series this year, or if Giants get the sweep. It'll be interesting, but after seeing what Washington did to the Cowboys, it just told me something, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Baltimore Ravens coming off of that loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the Indianapolis Colts, who kicked the crap out of the Detroit Lions, flipping and cartwheeling with Hines, man. I'll tell you what, best touchdown celebration of the year goes to Hines on the Colts, doing no cartwheel flips, man. That was just awesome. That was an awesome touchdown celebration, wouldn't you say?
It was.
Yeah, Ravens, man, tough battle with the Steelers. The Steelers, we now know, basically are the only remaining undefeated team left. Best team in the AFC, in my opinion, right now. Ravens and Colts, man, this is going to be a good one. But, you know, I think I like the Ravens to bounce back here and beat the Colts in Indianapolis. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Colts here this week. I'm taking the Ravens. I think the Colts will be in for a little letdown. But this should be a good game, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game in the AFC, but I'm taking the Ravens to bounce back after that home loss to the Steelers. I just don't see them losing 2 in a row.
And hey, man, we know the Steelers are for real, though. We all knew the Steelers were for real. You know, the defense and the way their offense is just clicking and everything too.
Yeah, that game proved the Steelers are a legitimate Super Bowl contender this year.
Yeah, coming out of the AFC for sure, definitely. Yep. They're like the best team in the AFC right now. I would definitely say Pittsburgh's the best team in the AFC right now.
Yeah.
And Kansas City's the second best.
Yeah, Kansas City is the second best.
Yeah, and the third best is, would you say the third best is Buffalo?
Third best is probably Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions going to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, the Lions got crapped on by the Indianapolis Colts, and the Minnesota Vikings, Dalvin Cook, taking over that game. 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 on a dump-off pass against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. Man, glad I got that one wrong in the picks. Thank you, Minnesota. Thank you for beating Green Bay because it helps conference-wise in the seeding. Thank you, Minnesota.
Yep, thank you, Minnesota.
Thank you, Vikings. Thank you, Vikings. And just alone for that, you know, I'm actually going to pick Dalvin Cook is back and rolling well. I mean, they were going up against good teams in that too earlier in the season. Granted they did lose to the crappy Atlanta Falcons in that too, but thankfully they pulled off that upset to get their second win of the season. And you know what? Just for that, I'm going to take the Vikings to get win number 3 against the Detroit Lions. I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings to get 2 in a row here.
Yep, we are going to reward you for what you did to Green Bay with your third win, with picking you to win your third game of the season, Minnesota. So thank you for beating the Packers.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Minnesota. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears going to Tennessee to take on the Tennessee Titans. The Bears took the Saints to overtime, but in the end, you put that ball in Drew Brees' hands near the end, and he's going to drive down your throat and win the game. And he set up Will Lutz perfectly on that last drive in overtime. And, man, the Bears, Nick Foles threw. How many interceptions did Foles throw yesterday?
I think you mean 2 days ago?
Yeah, how many?
I think like 2.
Yeah, they were caught. And we even said, Drew Brees owns Nick Foles, man. Drew Brees has Nick Foles' number.
Yeah.
From the playoffs and now the regular season. And Brees this time got him in Chicago. And the Tennessee Titans, I gotta just ask, what the fuck happened to the Titans on Sunday, man?
Yeah, losing to the Bengals, that was maybe the shocker of the weekend.
Yeah, they fucking shit themselves against Cincinnati, and that was the shocker. I agree with you, Dallas. That was probably the shocker of the week. None of us saw that coming, what Cincinnati had in store for Tennessee, but, man, it was crazy as hell, man. And the Tennessee Titans just made a trade for Desmond King of the LA Chargers before the trade deadline. Cornerback Desmond King, who's a really good special teams player and a good cornerback too. So the Titans definitely got a boost to their secondary with that trade for Desmond King. And just for that and all alone too, I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans to bounce back after laying that egg and just stick it to the Chicago Bears because we basically need it on that side. So give me the Tennessee Titans to bounce back.
Yeah, give me the Tennessee Titans to bounce back and hand the Bears their third loss in a row. Both these teams are trying to avoid 3-game losing streaks, and I believe the Titans will be the one that avoids a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, I agree. Up next, we got the Carolina Panthers going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, who just obviously we saw, which was the lock of the week last week when they just killed the Jets. And the Panthers choked against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons just got after them heavy on defense. It was close for a while until, with the field goals and that too, and then Todd Gurley basically gave Atlanta the breathing space, and Atlanta actually finished off the game getting that interception on what would have been a holding on the Panthers, but it would not have mattered anyway. So Atlanta got a huge win, against the Carolina Panthers, and Todd Gurley actually contributed to a win this time, other than when he didn't need it at the one against Detroit to set up an easy game winner when they should have really beaten Detroit, you know what I'm saying? But give me Kansas City to freaking get on, to freaking just continue lighting it up. I got the Chiefs beating the Panthers big.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs getting to 8-1.
Getting 8-1?
Yep.
All right, you know what time it is. Our game, Seahawks versus Bills, man. Our Seahawks going over to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Now, I don't know what the weather's going to be for that one yet, but obviously we're coming off of ripping the 49ers' soul out and basically ripping their hearts out and basically slamming the door on most likely their playoff hopes. And the Bills that was a close battle against the freaking Patriots. Patriots, all they really could have done was just set themselves up for a game-time field goal and put that game into overtime for an easy kick to go into overtime. But they got a little too greedy, and Cam Newton just got stripped, man. Granted, they were trying to set up or go for the win potentially, but, man, Cam Newton got stripped inside of Buffalo territory, and that was the game. And it was 24-21 the final, with the Bills winning that one, which, let's be real, we kind of saw that one. I think, what are the Patriots' record now? Are they 2-5? Or are they
2-5?
2-5, man. The Patriots, man, dang, they're falling off. But the Bills' 2 losses have really come against the teams with the best offenses. But also, let's be real, they did get dominated by the Tennessee Titans on defense, though, in that game when they lost their first game of the season to the Titans, and the Chiefs were just steamrolling them on offense. Granted, the Bills still got a really good defense. They obviously still got frickin' former Seahawk Quentin Jefferson, and they got Ed Oliver, and they got a lot of good defenders, even in the, I don't know about the secondary and that too, but they've been looking rusty, especially with the way they're letting teams hang around, though, you know? I mean, they've been letting teams hang around too close in their games, especially when how close they actually let the Jets hang around prior to how close, that game they had against the Patriots was, man. But, I mean, I'm hoping for the best, man. I know early in the season we said we could potentially see this as a loss for our Seahawks. I mean, like we were saying earlier and that too, but the way it's been looking, the way and how good our offense has been playing with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, despite the loss in Arizona and that too, I think I like us to continue to roll. I think we got a pretty good chance to go into Buffalo and hand Buffalo their third loss of the season. I like our chances going into this one. I'm not going to look too far ahead. Granted, we are getting Carlos Dunlap this game, and we possibly could be getting Snacks Harrison, and Pete Carroll is saying Jamal Adams will be back this week, which would be very huge. But if we can make Josh Allen throw interceptions and strip them and, just shut down Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and, the tight end Knox and, Tyler Croft and then I think who was the running back who was one of their running backs on there, Dallas?
Mike Singletary?
All right, obviously Singletary, and there was another one. Was it Knox? Fuck it, screw it, man. I don't give a fuck, man. Just fuck it. Give me the Seahawks to go into Buffalo and get to 7-1. Hopefully, I like our chances in this one, but I'm not sleeping on Buffalo. But give me the Seahawks to hand the Bills their third loss of the season.
Yeah, this is you flip a coin. It's anybody's guess. But I really like our momentum heading. I really like our chances heading into this game. So, a shot in the dark, I'm going to pick Seattle, but I definitely won't be surprised if
I won't be
we
either.
come away with a loss.
Yeah, I won't be
across the country.
Yeah, I won't be surprised either. Plus, we don't know what the weather's going to be like. Hold on.
I think it's supposed to be in the 60s.
Hold on. Let me check the weather for Buffalo, the 10-day forecast. Let's check the Buffalo weather in Orchard Park. Buffalo weather. All right. See if we get their 10 days. Because we play them Sunday, and that's going to be a 10 a.m. game. So basically 1 o'clock start time basically for us. So it says it's supposed to be 64 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly sunny. We do know the weather can change for that game, though. We do know weather can change. So if the weather's decent, we have a good chance, But now we're in November. We know how cold it usually gets in Western New York, especially in Buffalo, too. So let's just hope for the best, guys, I mean, if the weather can stay good for that week, that would definitely heavily favor us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just Googled the weather for Buffalo on that one. All right. Up next, we got the Denver Broncos taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons coming off of a huge win in Carolina against the Carolina Panthers. And the Broncos coming back, last second touchdown. KJ Hamler just stuck the ass cheeks on the green, catching the ball and giving tying it up for the Broncos to kick the game-winning PAT and break the hearts of the Chargers once again. That was an incredible finish, man, especially with the pass interference that set it up for him, man. That was just an incredible finish to that freaking game between the Broncos and the Chargers last week. Wouldn't you say, Dallas?
Oh, yeah. The Chargers with another collapse.
Yep. They have more collapses right now than the Falcons do.
Yeah, they've blown 4 double-digit leads this year.
Yeah, I'll say. But, man, just what a finish to that game. Melvin Gordon got his revenge, and just the way that game finished. They originally called it out of bounds. They looked at it, and the guy just got the ass cheeks on the ground, and it was a touchdown. I like Denver in this one to beat the Falcons, and Drew Lock is playing some good football too. I like the Broncos. I like the Broncos in this one to go off. I'm taking Denver to beat the Falcons.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Denver to keep the momentum after that great comeback win. But Atlanta surprised me last week with that win against Carolina. I thought they had completely just mailed it in on the season. Yeah, but I'm going to go with Denver.
All right. Up next,
I think Atlanta has a small letdown.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders going to SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Raiders coming off off of a big win in Cleveland. Very windy game. It was heavily affecting the field goal kicking too. We saw a lot of misses in that game on the field goals, and even Parkey missed one, but he didn't doink it like freaking Daniel Carlson Parkey did in that game with the wind. But the wind was just... Did you see how windy it was in Cleveland in that game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, man. Raiders came away with it too. The Chargers, obviously, that we just talked about them and how they basically had that big letdown against the Denver Broncos. Oh man, this is really a good one in the making. But man, I'll tell you what, the Raiders are playing some pretty good football. We know Justin Herbert's playing good, but the defense just keeps letting them down and all that stuff too. Chargers, Raiders. I mean, the Raiders swept them last year before making the move to Las Vegas and all too. I'm actually gonna pick the Las Vegas Raiders to get another win against the LA Chargers in this one. I'm picking the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders to get 2 in a row here.
Yeah. Raiders surprisingly playing good, but I don't know if it'll be. I don't think it'll be good enough for a playoff run though. But it'll be interesting though. What do you think?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can stay in the wild card race.
Yeah, if they can at least stay in the race, maybe they make the playoffs, maybe they don't. I mean, but they're in the race, they're competing. You got to give props to John Gruden and what he's doing with the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Miami Dolphins going to the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, the Cardinals were on their bye week. We took advantage of it. And Miami Dolphins, what they did to the Rams, I mean, but let's be real. Statistically, in the stats of that game, they were getting dominated by the Rams and the other stats of like offensive yards and a bunch of other stuff. But the only thing the Rams did not dominate at was the most important stat of them all, the scoreboard. Man, Miami Dolphins, man, the defense just came to play. Tua threw his first touchdown pass to freaking, obviously after getting stripped by Aaron Donald, his welcome to the NFL, as we mentioned last week. But I did not expect them to win this game. Tua Tagovailoa hits Devontae Parker for his first touchdown. The defense and Van Gink with the freaking big hit with that strip, and Van Ginkel with the house call, and freaking took that to the house, and then the freaking punt return. That was the defensive special teams really won that game for the Dolphins, and that was just incredible. Thank you, Miami, once again.
Yep, thank you, Miami.
Again, since you blew out the 49ers, and now you basically just took that dump. You fish slapped the Rams, just like you did the 49ers. Fish slapped them. And now you're taking on the Arizona Cardinals, and man, Kyler Murray Cardinals, that offense, they're still looking good, but I'll tell you what, I think this has the making of I could smell an upset in this game. Dolphins are playing some good football right now, man, on defense, on their defensive side. Tua needs to get it together, though. I mean, Tua didn't really do much, but, man, I'll tell you what. Would I love to see the Dolphins pull an upset and beat the Cardinals? Absolutely. I would love nothing more than to see an upset, but I got to lean towards Arizona still to try to get the win, but God, Miami, please let us thank you again if you do this. I'm hoping the football gods get to allow us next week in our Week 10 picks to thank the Dolphins again if they were to pull this upset. But I'm picking the Cardinals still in this one. Dallas?
Oh yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals in this one.
Yeah, but do you agree with me do you think that this could have a potential upset alert?
Yeah, it definitely could, but I see.
Yeah?
I see the Cardinals getting a win here.
Yeah, I see them getting a win, but I'll tell you what. I would love it if Miami's defense did what they did to the Rams and the 49ers again and do it to the Arizona Cardinals. That would be probably that would be awesome. The Dolphins are playing meaningful football, and we did not see this coming, It's just Tua's got to get it going on offense, Tua's got to get it going.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. Granted, he did play his first game, but let's be real. Defense and special teams won him that first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dolphins, if you can pull an upset, that would be awesome. Up next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going on to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Lock of the week, Steelers win big. Lock of the week.
Yeah, Steelers just are going to throttle the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys are a train wreck.
Yeah, up next, we got the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this time in Raymond James Stadium. Sunday Night Football, man. Whew, man. we all know what happened last time in Week 1 where Brady had, through that house call, through the throwing interceptions, the Saints defense came out to play. But now the Buccaneers are just, they finally got it together, and this could potentially go the other way around, man. But Buccaneers barely escaped New York last night on Monday Night Football, man. Back-to-back primetime games, and they barely freaking escaped again at home on the road against the Giants, man. Whew, man. What do you think? I'm gonna let you go first on this one, Dallas.
I'm taking the Saints to get the sweep.
You taking the Saints to get the sweep?
Yeah. Tampa Bay really struggled last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints to get the sweep too, but I wouldn't be surprised if they split, depending on what version of Tom Brady shows up and what version of the Tampa Bay offense shows up and what version of the Tampa Bay defense shows up. You know, did Michael Thomas play for the Saints last week against the Bears?
Did who play? Michael Thomas still did not play, and they had no Emmanuel Sanders.
No Emmanuel Sanders and no Michael Thomas, and they still won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put a circle around the Saints, but I wouldn't be surprised if they split, though.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, why the hell is this even a Monday Night Football game?
This is a horrible matchup.
You got the New England Patriots going to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets, the Jets, just end the suffering, just end the season Jets. And the Patriots just lost to the Buffalo Bills. Man, Patriots sub 500, but let's be real. This is probably their easiest win of the season. And I'm going to also say this. If the Jets lose this game to the Patriots, they're pretty much going 0-16.
Yeah. This is probably their best chance at a win.
Yeah, this is their best chance at a win. But I don't see it happening. I'm taking the Patriots to get the win here. And the Jets are most likely going 0-16. But I think Trevor Lawrence may pop.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots. And I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Trevor Lawrence decides to stay for his senior year at Clemson, you know.
Yeah, because getting COVID, I think he might want to stay an extra year now.
Yeah, since he did get COVID. Hope he's all right, though, too. And that's our Week 9 picks for Week 9 of the 2020 NFL season. We got Packers over the 49ers, Texans over the Jags. We split on Giants and Washington. Ravens over the Colts, Vikings over the Lions, Titans over the Bears, Chiefs over the Panthers, Seahawks over the Bills, Broncos over the Falcons, Raiders over the Chargers, and we got the Cardinals over the Dolphins, but we can sense a possible upset, so Dolphins, it would be awesome if you pulled this upset. Steelers over the Cowboys, Saints over the Buccaneers, could go either way, and Patriots over the Jets. And that is our Week 9 picks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to drop your picks in the comments down below. If you're new, hit the sub button, ring the bell for notification, give it a thumbs up, man. And Dallas, once again, man, let's see what we can do better than last week. We went 500 last week, man. But we're glad we went 500 because some of those games went the way we wanted and helped us out. As long as it helped the Seahawks out, right, Dallas?
Yeah, as long as it helps us.
All right, we're going to sign out here. Sam Dog and Dallas signing out. You ain't with it, you ain't infamous, and as always, go Seahawks.